Double text got me out of my element. I don't wanna feel like I'm settling. Double texting you. Hi everyone, my name is Morgan Flowers. Welcome to my channel. As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking a little bit about nano influencers like myself and just giving you guys 10 tips, things that I go by, things that I abide by, processes that I use. And if you are a nano influencer such as myself, keep watching to see what 10 tips I have. Disclaimer. These are not end all be all. There are so many things that you can follow, so many tips that you can get from bigger influencers. These are just the things that I do, a few things that I do, and like I said, just keep on watching. So the first thing that I'm going to say is have content days. I know that can be kind of hard depending on your schedule, but dedicating a day to content has been just everything for me. I really do have a hectic work schedule. So with my work schedule, it's not much that I can really plan for, but the days that I know that I have off, I always make sure I plan my content. It really does help me get ahead, and it helps me just kind of structure my week. It structures my month. I did already do my March content and I already structured everything out, so I feel like that was a really big help as a nano influencer. And I have two books that I absolutely live by. This one is my planner. Everything goes in the planner. This is pretty much where I actually write down which days I'm going to plan for, which days I want to post a certain video or whatever the content may be. And then I also have a separate content book, and this, if you are subscribed to my channel, you know I always talk about my content book, and this is just where I really plan. If I have a video outline, I plan it. I write down exactly my talking points, not for vlogs, but mainly for videos that are more structured, such as this one. So I really do plan, and I really think that that helps me so much with my content. It also helps me prepare my supporters for the content that I have coming up. I can kind of structure when I'm going to post a picture. I can structure if I'm going to do like a teaser for a video that's coming out. It just works out so well when you plan and set days for exactly what you want to do. So having a content day and planning your content days really helped me, and that's my first tip. So my second tip would be to post strategically. And when I say strategically, I mean just by buying from brands that you can see yourself partnering with in the future. If you want to partner with Necessaire, buy their body wash and then create content using that body wash, so that maybe Necessaire will look at you if you ever pitch to them, or if they come across your page, they'll be like, you know what, she already bought from us. She already supported us in one way or another. So it's just being strategic with your content. I was actually kind of accidentally strategic before, because I was posting jewelry. I was buying jewelry from this brand, and now I actually have a coupon code with that brand. They reached out to me about it, and that was just so exciting for me, because it wasn't on purpose, but to me, that showed how brands can look at that and take it into consideration. So just post strategically. If you know that you want to do a skincare collaboration, make skincare content. Make some posts, do some reels specifically talking about skincare, or specifically showing your skincare routine. If you want to partner with a makeup brand, show your makeup, do something makeup related. Just be strategic about your content. Buy from brands that you can see yourself working with. If you know that you want to work with Abercrombie and Fitch for like a clothing collaboration, buy from them and post their clothes and tag them and use their hashtags, because maybe that'll get you noticed in the future. And I do think that it helps with brands. There was a time where I was filling out like a request to be a partner with a brand, and one of the questions that they asked me was, do you own a pair of our clothing? And I was like, that question is there for a reason, because they want to see if you're actually a supporter. They want to see if this is just random collaboration, or do you really enjoy their brand. So I do think that posting strategically and buying from brands that you love is extremely important. Rolling into tip number 3, I will say post reels. Reels honestly have gotten me more insights, have gotten me more impressions than I ever would have gotten with my own followers. I don't have a huge follower count. Like I said, I'm a nano influencer, so I don't have a huge following on Instagram, but reels is really what helped me escalate. It helped me gain followers. If you guys want to check out the hashtag Yamaya 30-day challenge, that's something that I was participating in, where we posted reels every single day. So posting reels every day really helped me gain a good amount of followers over the course of the month. So that was reels that did that. That wasn't just from me posting to my followers, it was reels that did that. So no matter what your content is based in, no matter if your lifestyle, doesn't matter if your makeup, if your hair, you can still find reels that fit you. You can still make them aesthetically pleasing, and they can fit your own content. Just posting reels that fit under you is important. even if you challenge yourself to doing reels a couple times a week, say if you want to go, okay, let me make sure I post at least 3 reels this week. Document, maybe audit your Instagram to figure out how exactly can that help you? How exactly did that change the look of your content? How does it change your insights? I really did notice a difference when I did that on my own social media. So post reels. One thing that I did see another influencer say, this was Octavia B. She said that reels really helped her with her Instagram following. And when I went to her reels tab on Instagram, her reels are reaching hundreds and thousands, millions of views. And I really can see why something like that would really grow her account. And nothing's going to grow your account like a reel will. It's just that simple. Because your regular post, you may get your likes, your followers, they may share it, but it's not going to reach an audience like a reel will. So try to take reels a little bit more seriously. Have some on your account. Do some weekly. Challenge yourself. I really did notice a difference in my own content when I did that. Tip number 4 is going to be to connect with other content creators. It doesn't matter if they're in the same area as you. They don't have to just be hair care, but show love to their content, because as we are all nano influencers, we're all trying to get to the same goal, and we understand that support is huge. Support is huge. And it's not to be fake. Like, don't comment to be fake or like, oh, I don't really like her, but I'm going to comment anyway. Not like that, but a genuine support. A genuine, like, I get you, girl. Like, we doing the same thing. Let me support you because I know that you would support me. I hear people saying all the time that the people closest to them are the last ones to support. I don't know about y'all. I hear that all the time. People saying like, oh, well, my friend didn't repost my stuff, and my friend doesn't share, my family doesn't share. Your supporters, people who understand you, people who are also on the same path as you, they're the first ones to get it. They're the first ones to say, you know what, I know what she's trying to do. I know how important this like is to her. I know how important this share is. Even when you're doing your polls and you're trying to be interactive on your story, I know how important it is to interact with other content creators. So show genuine support. That's huge, because I've gained some little friendships over social media, and it's really cool to see. It's really cool to know that you're going to have someone rooting for you in your comments. Like, these people are going to be like right here with you, just like you're right here with them. If you're posting your content, like, share. Like, I like doing stuff like that because I understand, like I said, how important it is as a nano influencer. And y'all know Instagram changes its algorithm. So I did read that what's more important is shares and saves. Like, I know that they are more important than a like and a comment is. So it's important to just do that for your fellow content creators, especially if they're doing that for you. Just give back that same love. You know, it'll take you a long way. The people who get me, the people who are also nano influencers, they're the first ones to comment on my videos and the first ones to shout me out and say that they're watching me, and I love to do that in return. So that is tip number 4. Tip number 5 is going to be, don't be afraid to negotiate your prices. As nano influencers, yes, sometimes we get into our gifted collaborations, but if a brand isn't aligned with what you do, don't just take it just to take it. Don't just take it just because you're desperate for something. Of course, be friendly with the interaction, but if a brand approaches you and they want to offer you a commission-based partnership, unless that's what you're into, that's perfectly fine. But I hear a lot of negative stories about commission-based partnerships. Don't be afraid to say, hi, I'm so sorry, that's not what I'm looking for right now. Or, I'm so sorry, I'm not accepting those type of partnerships. I have replied that way before, and the brand will come back and say, okay, can you send me your media kit? That's happened to me before. Like, sometimes it's okay to say no. It's okay to stand your ground. Like I said, if the content doesn't align with what you post, don't be afraid to say no. If a lingerie brand reaches out to you and they want you to post sexy in their clothes, and that's not really what you do, don't just take it just because you're excited about the partnership. Things will come along that fit more in your own aesthetic. Maybe lingerie just isn't your style. But don't be just greedy to take anything. Don't be too excited. Don't be too eager. Just be patient. Trust your own gut. Trust your prices. Believe in your content. Of course, gifted collaborations are perfectly fine. I take gifted collaborations all the time, especially as a nano influencer. But like I said, just don't be afraid to try to get some wiggle room in there. Don't be shy. It's definitely something that I've had to overcome a little bit. I'd be like, should I tell them my prices? Should I say this? Or should I just accept it? You know, it's very it's very back and forth. But if you know that your content performs well, especially in certain areas, then don't be afraid. And the worst they can say is no. And if they do, then it's cool. So tip number 6, as we're talking a little bit about gifted collaborations, use those gifted collaborations to your advantage. Yes, use them to your advantage. If you are in a space where you're still taking gifted collaborations, it's nothing wrong with that. But I always say I like to use them to my advantage in the sense of making my content look better. So if a brand reaches out to me and it's a skincare brand, I'm going to use that skincare brand and I'm going to make a bomb reel. I'm going to make a bomb TikTok. I'm going to talk about this product like I'm getting paid for it. Just make sure that you're doing that, because it also shows other brands that, oh, she's serious about her content. Like, she takes her content seriously, and she likes what she does. She puts effort into every collaboration she does. That's the kind of vibe that I want to give off. If you look on my page, you may not even know if they're paid or gifted, because honestly, I put the same amount of effort into every collaboration. So it's very important, even like I said, if you're still accepting those gifted collaborations, just put the same amount of effort into it as if they were paid. I mean, maybe if they're paid, you might want to do a little bit more, but don't just slack off. Don't just say, oh, whatever, I'm just post this picture. Like, try to make it look half decent. As a nano influencer, we're all trying to get to the stage where we only are accepting paid collaborations, but definitely use the gifted to your advantage, because they can really pan out to be something bigger than what they initially start as. A lot of other content creators say that sometimes those gifted collaborations can turn into a paid one. Maybe the brand is testing you. Maybe the brand is like, well, how good is she going to do with this content? Let me gift this first, and then we're going to turn around and pay her if we really like the content. So you never know where they can end up. If they don't end up that way, it's perfectly fine. But just keep that idea in mind as you're creating your content. Tip number 7 is going to be not to copy content. That is a no. Don't copy content. It's okay to be inspired. I think that goes a long way, to be inspired and to take an idea and say, you know what, I'm going to add my own twist to this. That's important. That's great. It's nothing wrong with that. But don't see someone did a video and take their structure. Like, I think that's it's giving copycat. And you don't want to do that. You want to be authentic. You want to show people that you are your own person. Even if everyone is doing the same trend, you can still make that trend your own. It's completely normal to take tips. I do notice that if I see something working for a bigger influencer, then I'll take those tips. It's like I said, it's perfectly fine to be inspired, but don't copy content. Especially as nano influencers, it's like we're all trying to find our own lane. And copying isn't really going to get you to your own space, you know? So make sure you have your own little aesthetic, and it'll work out better for you in the long run. Tip number 8 is going to be, don't compare yourself. It's so easy to look at other content creators like, well, why am I doing that good? Or why isn't my page growing that fast? But that's only going to put you in a funk. It's only going to put you in a space where you're tipping into jealousy, or maybe you're like hating a little bit on the low. We don't want that. We don't want that energy. You don't want that karma for yourself. Just understand that things will take time. Everyone moves at their own pace. It's very easy to look at someone else's stuff and be like, man, like mine ain't doing that well. Now I'm discouraged, and now I'm thinking like, well, maybe my content isn't good enough. Why don't I have this many? Like, it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to be your own worst critic, and comparing yourself to other people will really get you there. Like, it'll really take you there. You start criticizing yourself, you start criticizing your content. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the energy. So don't compare yourself to other content creators, especially if you guys are in the same area. Maybe if you guys are both nano influencers and you see someone else's page is growing, or you see people are showing them more love. Show your love, keep it pushing. Know that your time is going to come, especially if you're consistent, especially if you put your all into your own content. Your time is going to come, and if it doesn't, at least you know that you put your all into what you put out, and you put your all into your own work. Just be appreciative of where you are. I was just talking about how I was looking at some of my old content. I was just celebrating getting to 100 subscribers. I was so excited about my 100 subscribers, you know? And now I'm at about 1,700. So it's just like, I've come a long way, and I have to be proud about my own steps. Celebrate your own accomplishments, and just know that things take time, especially things like this. Tip number 9 is going to be to prioritize engagement over a follower count. Like, it's so important to be able to connect with the people that you already have in your circle. It's so important to be able to talk to your followers as if they're your girls, they're your friends, they're your besties. Like, it's so important to get to that point instead of just thinking about the numbers. I've seen a lot of content creators just have huge platforms but don't have high engagement. And if you do want to work with brands, that's what's important. It's important to know that your audience is going to support you on different levels. It's important to know that your audience is going to comment on your stuff. That's what we all want at the end of the day. So just prioritize your engagement. One thing that I do is I always try to make some type of a poll on my story or some type of question, force my audience to say something to me or to vote one way or another. Instagram also loves interactions, but just in general, like aside from social media, it's so important to have a connection. It's so important to be personable with your audience and just kind of create a friendship, an online friendship with your supporters. So I try not to look at the numbers too much. I do, of course, see when my platform is growing, or I see when I gain a subscriber, and I'm so appreciative of every subscriber that I get. But for the most part, I do find it more important if you guys are commenting and you guys are talking to me. And I like talking to you guys because that helps me just get to know you guys, and you guys can get to know me in return. So that's what's more important, your engagement and not so much your follower amount. And the last tip that I have for you guys today is going to be create content with value. That's important too. Not just creating content just to do it, but when you have content that people are learning from, even if you're teaching something in the caption, creating that content with value, it'll help people engage with you a little bit more. And I do feel like it'll help people just learn from you. People will want to follow you. If you're teaching me how to do something that I really want to do, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to be like, okay, cool. Like, this is the content that I want to see. Recently, I followed a TikTok account because this woman, she was a lawyer, and she was talking about different things that content creators should be looking out for, things that you should be able to note when you're signing these contracts with these brands. And I thought that was valuable information. That's something that people are looking for. So create content with value, even if it's something small, even if you're giving perfume suggestions. Some people out there want to know. Some people out there are looking for that same thing that you're teaching. So that'll take you a longer way than just doing like mini vlogs. Like, mini vlogs are perfectly fine. I love a mini vlog, child. But if we're talking about longevity, if we're talking about gaining followers over a long period of time, I would definitely suggest trying to incorporate something teachable. My dad lately has been trying to get into content. He loves wearing suits and dressing up. And I told him, try to incorporate something that's like teachable. Try to teach somebody how to style a tie. Teach someone how to wear brown shoes with a black suit. You know, have something of value, something that people are going to be looking for, something that people will follow you for. So that's my 10th tip. Like I said in the beginning, there's so much to learn. There's really so much to say. You can go on and on and on about tips and things that you learned along with your journey. If you're a content creator yourself, or if you're a nano influencer, give me a follow. I do like to teach some stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Double text got me out of my element. I don't wanna feel like I'm settling. Double